rise, huh, buddy? All right. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is Billy. Billy is a new purchase. Oh, hey, stop. Stop. Billy is a new purchase by a current client of mine. Okay, stop. And you can see like how he's holding his mouth, like his lips are kind of pursed, and you can see his teeth. His ears are back a little bit. I came out here last week. I was working on other horses, and his owner asked me to take a look at him and just see how I thought he felt, if he needed anything. And I found that he was pretty sore up front here. And I'll show you what I mean, and you can see how he reacts. But if you just touch him here, right, you just touch, he's really uncomfortable there. So I'm not putting really any pressure there. I'm just kind of touching, and then I just barely put any pressure, and you can see how sore he is there. I've done this before, and people see horses react and they go, oh, he must be poking them with something. He's probably got something in his hand. Like, it's pretty crazy. There's nothing in my hand. I'm literally just touching him there, and that's how he reacts. So super, super sore up front. So I'm gonna try to help him with that. And he's sore on both sides. So if you watch on this side, just barely touching, and that's what he's doing. So got some work to do on him. I believe they're going to use him for riding lessons for kids. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely got some issues to work out on Billy here. I got the microphone up on my hat today. It's right here. So if you guys can't hear me very well, please let me know, and I'll move it. Sometimes I put it here and then it gets muffled because the microphone goes up against my neck and then you can't hear me very well. Hello, Nicole. Thanks for watching from the UK. Cindy. Who's Cindy? Cindy. Oh, hi, Cindy. Hey, Vanessa. Thanks for coming back in. Appreciate it. All right. So we know we got some soreness up front. So that's going to be my primary issue to work on with him today. Just going to check his SIs, check the hind end. Oftentimes I think that they get sore up front, especially up in that shoulder, anterior shoulder, lower neck, kind of bicep area, because they're not driving off their hind ends properly. So if they're not comfortable driving off the hind end, what they're going to do is, instead of driving and pushing off the hind end, they're going to pull themselves forward. So they're out here and then they pull, right? Obviously it's one leg at a time, but they're still pulling. So you get pain and tenderness in the biceps because they're constantly basically doing this, right? It's like us doing a bicep curl, right? It's the same motion. So you get pain in the anterior delt, you get pain in the bicep tendon, you get pain up in the lower neck. So especially when it's bilateral, meaning it's on both sides, it's a really strong indication that they're just not driving off their hind ends properly. So, you know, I can fix the pain and help him be more comfortable up here, but overall, I'm gonna have to teach the owner what to do to get him using his hind end properly so this stuff doesn't come back. Oh, no, sorry, Vanessa, you can't leave. You know, sorry about your test. Well, most of my horses that I get to work on are pretty well behaved, so I'm pretty spoiled that way. But if thank you, Aj, don't even know, Aj. So, all right, so I'm gonna get started on him. Check out some hind end. You know, when I start out with the horse, typically I'll just go over them, just do some muscle palpation, just see if anything is sore. He's got a little soreness in his hamstring back there. You might have been able to see him pick up his foot, like that was bothering him. He just wants to be all up in the camera. Hey, I'll give him a little bit more of the spotlight. There we go. So, and oftentimes when you have that pain in the front end, there's going to be some discomfort in the hind end as well, just because of compensation. Except in this case, you know, in most cases when they're sore up in the biceps, low neck, you know, biceps, low neck, and shoulder area, typically I think that the compensation is the front end. Like back there might be the main problem, and up front is where they're compensating. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. I love just having all the unoriginal comments deleted. You know, ooh, that's a nice dog, or snake oil salesman. Like, just go, just leave. Got no time for that. Okay, so we do have a little bit of rotation in the hind end. He's higher on the left side than the right side. And even though I say we've got rotation, that's just what I'm suspecting right now. I haven't motion palpated the joints yet, but in a static position, his left side is higher than the right side. He is just a wiggle worm. Come on. Good boy. Oh, don't step on yourself, Goofy. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let you guys watch Billy for a minute. I'm gonna see if I can't find him some fly spray. Flies are bad today, and I can't talk to you very well when flies are buzzing all over around my mouth. Yuck. So I'm just gonna steal a little bit of this and see how he does with it. Sometimes they're spooky with the fly spray, but damn, flies are bad today. Oof. Goes off of you, buddy. Hope. There we go. Give him a little fly spray bath. All right. That should be a lot better. All right. Now I can focus a little more, and he'll be able to also. It's hot and kind of muggy today here. It's kind of nasty. Let's see. Thank you, Cindy. You're the perfect moderator. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Xana Marie. All right. So let's keep going with Billy. Oh, there we go. Awesome. So many ladies on this app just have me wondering, should I start a forbidden site and just do like horse adjustments, like with a shirt off, you know? Like there's nothing wrong with just working with your shirt off, right? It's like you're at the beach. But I still feel like a man whore if I do that. I don't know. I could charge like, I don't know. What could I charge for a shirtless OnlyFans? I would need a OnlyFans manager, Cindy. So, you know, if I did one, I might have to increase your role. $50 likes and the shirt goes off. I don't know. I might have to do it, but you know, we'll just have to see. I could be convinced. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a shirtless OnlyFans, right? But I just feel like it's kind of being a I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong with it, but then again, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. Are horses expensive? Yep, I would say they're pretty damn expensive, that's for sure. Fuck, I can't read this. This fucking letters are too small. I mean, I can't give it away for free, Xana Marie, you know? It's gotta be for OnlyFans. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Wranglers, well, I might have to broaden my my gene scope a little bit because, you know, Wrangler still hasn't offered me any sponsorships. I'm a little upset about that. So I might have to change it up and maybe go with some Ariats or go with some, ooh, some cinches, you know? Oh, there we go. But I feel like the Wranglers just have that stigma, like the good stigma associated with them that like Cinch and the other brands just don't have, you know? But I tagged Wrangler for like a solid year straight and nothing. I didn't get a like, I didn't get a comment, I got nothing. So I'm giving them all this exposure, not like they freaking need it. But still, you know, it's principle. Yeah, Billy's a super cool horse. Very opinionated, but also super sweet. Very good personality on him. All right, his hind end actually feels pretty good. I adjusted that right side SI joint, but I don't know if you could see that. Just kind of putting a little bit of pressure back there, and he wasn't too happy. So if I push back here, let's just see if that was a fluke or if that's actually uncomfortable. Nah, it was just a little pissy. It's in his color. All right, so I'm gonna rotate his head around to his shoulder. Now, I'm expecting him to get really pissed with this one because he's uncomfortable in the shoulders, but I wanna rotate him around and see if he'll come touch my hand where I'm pushing to try to loosen up that lower neck a little bit, you know? So if I get him to rotate to the left shoulder, I'm stretching all of this, rotate to the right shoulder, I'm stretching all of that. So if he's pissed off all around this area and I can get him to rotate all the way around, we might be able to get some releases there. And also we're getting good stretches throughout the soft tissue on that opposite side. So I'm gonna rotate him around and see how well he can do with that. Get a Stetson. All right, you're gonna have to educate me, Susan. What is a Stetson? Don't hate me. Yeah, I've never been on there either. I just know the stigma associated with it, right? So it's like most people aren't just doing friggin' shirtless TikToks while they're working, you know? But hey, it's just another passive income stream, you know? I figure why not? Yeah, it is. It is a copper line sleeve, yeah. I don't know if I notice anything with it. I mean, it definitely keeps everything nice and tight, you know, and it's putting pressure on the areas where I needed to put some pressure. I don't know if the copper lining necessarily is doing anything, but you know, my elbow's just been sore for a couple of weeks, and I actually hurt it in the gym, so I'm just trying to give it a little bit of support and just to help keep it comfortable while I'm working. I'm like, dude, Billy, I'm getting there, buddy. Cowboy hat. Oh, cowboy hat. I have an American that I really like, but I don't know if I'd want to wear it out here while I'm working. God, he's just itching his eyes on me like crazy. That's a great idea, though. Yeah, well, Xana, I'm actually doing some peptide therapy on it right now, too. So I'm injecting my elbow once a day every morning. I can't talk. If you're familiar with peptides, I'm using one called BP157 and another one's called TB500. So I inject it every day. It's supposed to dramatically help with the healing process. And then once it's healed up, I'm going to start with an oral dose of BP157 just for systemic inflammation and try to keep me from hurting it in the future. Yeah, peptides are, I mean, in my opinion, they're the future of medicine for sure. I mean, there's very few to any side effects there. Like BP157 is a peptide that's actually created in your gastrointestinal tract. So it's not even a, it's not an artificial, it's not an artificial thing that you're putting into your system. So you can see I just wrapped him on the beak a little bit because he's not allowed to come around that far like he's going to bite. I don't mind this stuff, like he's communicating to me that it hurts. But if he thinks he can push me around by bringing his head all the way around like that, then I can't allow that to happen. So don't call the animal police on me. Horses just think that you're another member of their herd. And you should see them in a herd when they get bit or when another horse kicks them or they get pissed off, how insane they treat each other. So me just tapping him on the mouth like that, it's not hurting him. It's just letting him know that that behavior is unacceptable. Good boy. Because what happens is horses will give you these signals like this, and if you don't do anything about it, and you also don't move or stop what you're doing, they'll increase that signal until they finally get a piece of you. So a lot of people, like when I finally discipline a horse, I have a video on Instagram and TikTok, but on Instagram it's got like 1 million views right now. It's from about 4 months ago, where I had to discipline a horse with the lead rope, and I just did this and backed him into the corner of his paddock because he bit me in the chest. And everyone's like, "Oh, poor horse." I'm like, "Fuck the horse. Damn thing just bit me in the chest." And everybody's like, "Oh, you are," the non-horse people, they're like, "Oh, you missed the signs. You weren't paying attention. The horse was hurting. If you would have seen the signs, you could have stopped it, blah, 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 blah." Yeah, if I stop what I'm doing because the horse is giving me aggressive signs and aggressive signals, then guess what that means to the horse? Oh, I can do that and he's going to move away. I can do that and he's going to stop what he's doing. No, I see those signals and I just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm keeping an eye on him. And if they try to bite, if they actually try to bite, or if they get a little piece of me like that horse did, then I'm going to do the correction, because I don't want to correct those little bits of behavior that could be taken more as communication, because I want them to be communicative and I want them to be curious. But if they act out on those body language cues, then they need to be corrected. So that's why I waited so long on that video to actually do the correction, because I don't want him to be nervous and anxious, and then I correct those signs, and that's going to make him even more nervous and more anxious. So I want him to know it's the behavior that's not tolerated, not the body language and the visual cues. So but anyway, yeah. Holy crap. I think we went onto the other side of YouTube here. No, Sarah, older horses are excellent candidates for chiropractic the vast majority of the time. And even if they're older and they've got some arthritis, you know, you can really help a horse by mobilizing their joints and stretching them out without doing any big major adjustments, which would be what you're concerned about with older horses. Because if you just adjust an arthritic horse and you adjust a joint that's very arthritic, you can make it sore, right? So all you want to do is mobilize the joints, keep the motion going through it. It helps keep the joint lubricated. You know, it helps to maintain their range of motion or even improve upon their range of motion. But oftentimes, if I have an older horse, especially one in their 30s, I'm not going to do any big adjustments, because there's really no point. I might do some small adjustments and put some minute forces through the joint, but I'm not going to do anything big that's going to cause them to hurt, because obviously a horse that age is going to have some amount of arthritis. Yeah, no, they're definitely not horse people. I mean, I had one lady, like a lot of those Karens, sorry if there's a Karen in here, but a lot of those Karens, they'll type in all caps, you know, all caps, all exclamation points, like, you know, they just had to get it off of their chest. And one lady goes, "You don't have to yank on the leash that hard." And I'm just like, all right. These are the people that I'm dealing with, like calling a lead rope a leash, and it's insane. I've never like been a part of something where people are just so eager to show you what they don't know. And it's always the people that get upset about any type of discipline that you do to the horses. Where did I go to school? So I'm a human chiropractor by trade. So I went to chiropractic school. And then once I got my chiropractic license, then I went to the animal chiropractic certification course called Options for Animals, which is in Kansas, just outside of Kansas City. Awesome program. You cannot get certified to work on horses unless you're a vet or a human chiropractor, or you're a student enrolled in a human chiropractic or a veterinary program. But there's 5 or 6 programs around the country. They all have their pros and cons. I love the place that I went to, but they don't certify through the agency that I wish I would have been certified through. But it was a great program. They included food and they had coffee, and any program that has coffee is definitely one I'm going to be a fan of. Ooh. Let's see how this is feeling. So you can see already, I haven't even directly treated this area, but you can see how much better that's feeling. So I'm going to do this one. So this one's a bit more tender, so you can see that. Yeah, I know, but that's enough. Hey, good boy. Okay, so I'm going to treat that spot. I want to get that area kind of cleared up for him before I get the legs stretched out and do any adjustments on the shoulders. Yeah, independent liberty, that is so true. Oh my goodness, so true. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I wish YouTube would be like TikTok where I can expand the comments section. What states have you done equestrian chiropractic in? All right, that's my pet peeve. All right, so it's not chiropractics with an S. It's just chiropractic. Just chiropractic. We had chiropractic students in my class that would call it chiropractics. Like they didn't even know what it was called, and they're going to school for it. But yeah, it's just chiropractic. And I've done work in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Tennessee. Did I say Tennessee already? I think I did. Kentucky, Illinois, Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, California, Nevada, Colorado. I think that's it. And I've done it in Dubai. I was flown over there last year in February and worked on horses there for 3 weeks. That was pretty amazing. It's just a pet peeve among chiropractors. We're nerds, so it is what it is. Yeah, no problem. I love just talking about what I do and educating people about their horses and how they can help them. I actually just wrote a book. I just published it, or it was just officially published on Amazon yesterday, but they have the wrong cover uploaded, so I had to redo that. So it should be the right cover in 72 hours according to Amazon. But it's called Stretching Exercises for Horses. So I think it's 157 pages long. So I just go through a bunch of stuff, educating people about their horse's anatomy, how they move, how to stretch them. And then most of the book is a step-by-step stretching guide for people to learn how to stretch their horses. So if you want to learn any of that, it's now on Amazon, Stretching Exercises for Horses. And then I have my online equine stretching course for horses. It's called the Equine Stretching Masterclass. So if you'd rather have some video tutorials that you can walk through at your own pace, where I also teach a lot about the anatomy of the horses, that's available on my website. It's sporthorsechiropractic.com, or it's also linked in the description in this video. Long Island. Can I practice in Long Island? Oh man, I would love to go to Long Island. I've never been there. Or do I have to say Long Island? Cindy, I can't smack a lady. Oh, only if it has 4 legs. I know, chiropractics. Africa? I would love to come. Are you kidding? I would love to come to Africa. I love to travel to do this. I love to travel to teach it. I love to travel to do it. Especially if there's an international opportunity, 100%. So you can see I touch his belly. Look how pissed off he gets. Ears go back, head starts to come around. So we might have some gut problems going on back there. I'll kind of take a deeper dive into that here in a few minutes. Crack me up, Cindy. Was there a fall? What kind of a fall are you talking about, G Windhorse? Oh my goodness. We need to create like a horse talk or Chiro talk or something. This is wild. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Cindy's my #1 fan. Hello, Cece. Thanks, G. Cindy, you gotta stop. You gotta stop erasing. I'm missing out on all of your hilarity. All right, so I'm gonna open this up a little bit, bring him back around here. Good. I'm really surprised he's able to rotate so easily to that side when this is so uncomfortable. So you can see how I just put a little pressure and he's just twitching a whole bunch with that, right? You can see how his head's moving around and then we get that. So I think this is definitely our main, whew, look at that. It's definitely our main area that's bothering him. So all I'm gonna do is some super light pressure here. And if you wanna learn more about what I'm doing to correct this, it's called GTO work or GTO pressure. GTO stands for Golgi tendon organ. Stop, Cindy. I can hear your brain churning already. Golgi tendon organ is a structure inside the tendon of a muscle that limits how hard that muscle can contract. And what it does is it prevents the brain from contracting in the muscle so hard that it rips it off the bone. It's called an avulsion fracture. It's called an avulsion fracture when the tendon comes off the bone, but it takes a piece of the bone with it. So imagine that, you know, somebody has a, 50-pound box of books, right? 50-pound box of books. You're helping them move. They toss you the box and you're not big and strong enough to catch it. So you might try to catch it, but you can't hold the weight. And the reason you can't hold the weight is because once your muscles reach a certain amount of tension or a certain amount of contraction, and there's a certain amount of force being placed on that GTO, the brain will shut the muscle off. So your arms will naturally just drop before you contract the muscles so hard that it tears itself off the bone. Okay, so that's what a Golgi tendon organ does. Now, if I'm able to get on the tendon and apply direct pressure into the GTO, I can get that GTO to fire and the brain will turn the muscle off. So I can clear a spasm just by applying pressure across the muscle tendon where that GTO is located. The guy who teaches all this, he has a program on his website. His name is Christian Langeder, Langeder. He's on TikTok. If you watch some of his videos and you have horses, you're going to be absolutely amazed at what he does. And you can see what's going on with him right now. He's just chilling out. His eyes are closing, kind of falling asleep on me. It's very relaxing for them, and you can get incredible changes. Look. Could care less. That's from the flies, right? Look at that change. Like that's just incredible to me. And all I'm doing is applying pressure with the pads of my fingers just before the point that I feel like he's going to react or come around. And then I just hold the pressure and that takes all of that away. Like, it's amazing. You might have horses that will anticipate that it's going to hurt, like the next time you go back to touch it. But look at that. He's like, oh man, that actually feels good now, right? I mean, that just blows me away that you can do something like that with your 2 hands and just give them give them so much relief. So I'm gonna I'm going to add another section of that into the book. I didn't do that the first time on the first release, but I think when I do like a second edition, I'm going to add a whole section on GTOs and pressure point releases and things like that. Yeah, it makes me look. He's got airplane ears, just chilling out now. Thanks, T. Hello, T. Yeah, guys, if you can hit your thumbs up, hit the thumbs up or double tap your screens. Got 86 people in here and 20 likes. Oh, Jesus, we just dropped 30 freaking 4 people. What'd I do? But if you guys can hit your like buttons, or if you want to hit share, if you're not subscribing, please consider doing so. I'm trying to get to 100,000 followers on YouTube. I'm like 10,000 followers away. So I'm thinking of doing some giveaways and stuff, but I know everybody doesn't have horses. So, I was going to do book giveaways or giveaways to my equine stretching masterclass. I haven't come up with exactly what I want to do yet, but we're going to have a nice offer to try to get us up to that $100,000 mark. No hitting. Some people like hitting, Cindy. Thank you so much, Susan. You're just the sweetest. All right, so look, he's just chilling out. And that is still all good right there. So that's awesome. All right, I'm going to check the other side because the other side was tender as well, but I haven't taken care of this side yet. So let's see what he does. See? So you can see the difference, right? He's jumpy over here. Look at that. Right? Kind of pissed off. But over here, nothing. So I'm going to treat that other side, and then you guys can see, and I can see how he responds to that. Even after I treat this stuff, I'm always like, I'm going to go back there. He's going to freaking bite. I guarantee it. So let's see. You just got to be prepared when you get on the sore spot that they're going to be unhappy about it until it starts to feel good. So I'm going to get right on that. Here's his reaction one more time, just so you can see it, right? Kind of jumpy, trying to bite. So I'm just going to get right on. You got to get right on the sore spot too. So if you have a horse that's super reactive, and he's pretty reactive, but he gives you some warnings before he comes around, you really have to get right on the sore spot and apply pressure. And sometimes they will try to bite you when you get on it, but you just have to stick with it. I'm going to bring him a little bit further forward so hopefully you guys can see where I'm pushing. I'm going to turn him just a little bit. Oh. Good boy. Good boy. Back. Back. Good boy. There we go. Senor Mike. Senor Mike did not say that. Senor Mike said, if you subscribe, if you want to subscribe to an OnlyFans account, he would do it. Well, he didn't say he would do it, but he said he would consider it. All right, so let me get on this. Try to get this discomfort out of there. Good boy. There we go. So it's amazing when you get on the spot and you just hold pressure, they just start to zone out and they kind of stare off into space and they get sleepy. You can see his head coming down, his eyes are getting heavy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. See, it's like a lot of people would have corrected that right there when he brought his head around, but he wasn't being aggressive, he wasn't being nasty. There. All right, so let's see. Look. Look at that. He's like, oh, baby, that feels good now. Look. I mean, that's just nuts. That's just nuts, right? I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, and this just blows me away that he could be so uncomfortable that he tries to bite when I was touching this, and now I can really freaking dig in there, and I'm scratching. I'm putting that same type of pressure even more, and I mean, it's like it goes from holy shit that hurts to damn that feels so good. That's crazy. A horse calendar. Cindy, did you recommend that before? Somebody recommended a freaking calendar before. That's hilarious. That is really funny. Good boy. So flexing through the withers, no problem. Awesome. All right. So I'm all done with Billy. Let me just check his pole. Make sure I didn't miss anything up here. Oh, uh-oh. Little uncomfortable at the pole. So let's see, is he uncomfortable in the hyoid too? So look at the tension in his mouth, right? You can see his teeth. And that's because he's drawing up the corners of his mouth just barely. And that's a pain sign. So that's bothering him. Let's check the other side. Let's see how this side feels. So that side's bothering him even more. You can see that right there. And the more I push, the more he shows his teeth. Easy, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So I'm going to take care of that hyoid pain too. Thank you, T. I thought you did, Cindy. Are calendars still a thing? I mean, I had freaking calendars back in the day, but I don't know if that's still even a thing anymore. Okay, so hyoid pain. The best thing for hyoid pain is just to grab the tongue, pull it out to the side, and I'm just gonna hold it out here and let him pull against me. So I'm not yanking the tongue. I'm not trying to rip the tongue out of his mouth. All I'm doing is using enough pressure to keep the tongue out to the side so that when he contracts his muscles to pull that tongue in, he has some resistance to pull against. So you never wanna yank the tongue, pull the tongue, especially straight forward, because you could potentially damage either the muscles that control the movement of the tongue, or you could damage the hyoid where those muscles attach. But the hyoid is so incredibly important to their comfort and movement. It's insanely overlooked. I mean, it's sometimes not considered at all, but all the muscles at some point, all the muscles in their body, their skeletal muscles, eventually attach to the hyoid via fascial planes. So if you have an issue at the hyoid or they're sore at the hyoid, it could show up in so many different places, primarily in the shoulders, in the chest, the pec muscles. Up at the pole is number one. And through Christian Langeder, the guy who does the GTO work, I've actually kind of come around to believe that a lot of issues that I used to think were pole problems are actually hyoid problems. He believes there's no such thing as a pole problem. I don't agree with that, but I definitely agree that because of all the muscle attachments up under here, that the hyoid or a sore muscles at the hyoid can absolutely cause what looks like a pole problem, but it's not a pole problem at all. It's a hyoid problem. So I think it's really important to get up here and check your horse and, you know, just light pressure. Look, just like you're trying to massage, like you're trying to make it feel good. And if they react negatively, like he's doing to something like that, then you should check up under and in between the jowls to see if they've got any pain here. So I'm going to recheck this left side. I took the tongue out to the right because the left side was much more tender than the right. And you can see now that I did that, he's acting like this actually feels good. He's not tossing his head. I don't have to hold him here. He's just chilling here on his own. And I'm rubbing hard enough to make his head move around, right? So you know I'm not applying light pressure, and that's all better. Just by doing that tongue move. That tongue move, Cindy, not that tongue move. So let's take it out to this side. I'm just gonna do it on both sides because he was a little uncomfortable on that other side too. And again, I'm just gonna hold the tongue here for 20 or 30 seconds, let him pull against me. Let him do the work, right? I'm not gonna try to pull the tongue out of his mouth. I just think like, damn, someone grabbed my tongue and did that. Holy shit, like that would be super uncomfortable. So I'm just gonna hold it out here and let him pull against my pressure. Good boy. And those muscles can be so strong. The reason why I hold it like an okay sign like I am is because if he yanks back real hard, I want that tongue to slip out of my hand. I don't want to have a death grip on it. He yanks back. Him doing this and me holding the tongue is the same thing as him standing here and me yanking the tongue. So I don't want to do either of those things. Good boy. There we go. So once that tongue comes out all the way, or they just relax it and they'll be like, you know, then you can just let it go. But let's see how that feels for him. Usually you'll get a whole bunch of relaxation signs. They'll take some big deep breaths, they'll lick and chew, they'll yawn a whole bunch. No way. Wow, that's awesome, Susan. Holy smokes. That's very cool. Oh, thank you, Zan. I think, am I saying her name right? Zana Marie? I hope so. Oh my goodness. I guess I'm gonna have to create another website. I don't know. Maybe I'm nasty under here. You don't really know. Maybe I'm just sucking it in all the time when I'm on my lives. Perfect. All right, back up, buddy. All right, and then I'm just gonna work on his front legs, get him nice and stretched out. Easy, Cindy. Stretching out the horse. Oh, I gave you a teaser. That was on accident, Cindy. Good boy. Ooh, nice releases in there. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So you can see the look on his face, kind of concerned, not too sure. So if that's the case, then I just kind of slow it down, give them some time to process, and then hopefully they'll come into the stretch like he's doing right now. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Oops. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I think it starts by accident, for sure. Oops. Come on, buddy. Good boy, back. Good boy. Good boy. Oh. Good boy. Let's check this side. What the hell? Man, some farriers just freaking piss me off. Just lazy. He's got two nails bent over on his shoe. Ones that are back towards the heels. And it looks like they were done like that intentionally. Hi, buddy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Like feet and teeth, the two most important things for a horse, in my opinion. And if you don't have a good farrier, then you're missing their foundation. It's the most important thing. It's a good boy. That's a good boy. Oh, there we go. Good boy. There we go. So I'm going to recheck those bicep tendons in his chest. Anterior delts, make sure he's not still sore there. And then we got one more horse to do, but I'm just going to check his pole and TMJ and hyoid. He's an older guy. He starts to head bob once he needs his adjustments. So I'm going to go check him after this. Oh my goodness. Definitely gone to the dark side on this live. Good boy, buddy. Whew. All right, sweet. So I'm gonna check him one more time. Make sure he's still feeling good in those sore spots. Good boy. Yep, still feeling good there. That's beautiful. Let's recheck him here. And this is his worst side, and there's the head drop. Not bothering him at all. So love that GTO stuff, man. That stuff is just unreal, and the changes that you get with it. And you don't need a certification to do it. So if you got real good at it and you wanted to do it as a business, I mean, it would be hard to sell because, you know, people don't know what it means. So you'd have to come up with a creative name for it. But the changes are unbelievable with it. All right, so I'm gonna head over to Oli, check out his head and neck and jaw and hyoid. He can be a little bit crabby, and y'all are gonna laugh at Oli too because, Oli, sorry, because he's, here, I'll flip this around because this is an interesting view. So this is AZ Rodeo ready. If you guys have kids, if you're in Arizona and you want them to get some lessons, this is an awesome place, great people. So you can see Oli already. So he's an older guy, super sensitive to the flies. So he's wearing this big old fly sheet with this fly mask. I know, it's pretty, oh, I freaking stole the halter. All right, I gotta walk all the way back, put the halter away. Now's the time to ask any questions if you got any. What's up, Gouda? Welcome back. Got all my regulars in here today. I hope we get some new regulars out of this group. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, Gouda's really gonna crank it up a notch, I think. Awesome. Hey guys, we got 47 people in here and 27 likes. Come on now, you can hit that like button for me. Hit it for Billy. Don't hit it for me, hit it for Billy. Billy loves you. Constance, I'm based in the East Valley, so Queen Creek, Gilbert area, but I travel all over the place. Just depends on how many horses people want done and where you're located. But I got a lot of people that trailer into me as well, so we make it work. Some have to hit it. What are you talking about, Cindy? You're just getting off the rails. OKC. Yeah, I don't go to OKC very much. I might start going down there for the AQHA World Show in October, November. But usually I'm up in Tulsa when I go out to Oklahoma. Oh, got it, Cindy. I was confused. My apologies. All right. That's Maggie. Maggie can be a little testy, but you know, she wants to be sweet, but then the redness kicks in and she's like, bug off. All right, and Oli's got a nasty stall here, so let's just put this here and see if the neighboring horse will leave it alone. And as soon as I say that, here he comes. Sweet. Yeah, I'll let you know, Gouda, for sure. What's the usually max weight for riding? 20% or below, I would say is an acceptable size. You know, I think the bigger the horse, the more they can handle. So if you have a pony, it's a little bit less. If you have a big warm blood, it's a little bit more. Oops, let me flip this around. But yeah, I would think 20% is a good amount, good percentage. Oh, I know what you meant. All good. I stumble over my words all day doing this thing. All right, Oli. Come on, buddy. Back. He's a stubborn old man. Back. Come on. Good boy. Let's take this off so you can see. You can see how pissed off he gets at me when I work on this stuff. It's always entertaining. I love the question too. I love it when people go, or they'll say like, don't stand behind the horse, you're gonna get kicked, right? Or they'll be like, never walk behind a horse. Like they're trying to teach me about horses while I'm working on horses. So it's pretty funny. But they'll go, how many times have you been kicked? And I'm just like, how do I answer this question without jinxing myself, you know? Like I've been kicked a couple of times, of course, but I don't even want to talk about it, because I feel like if I say anything that indicates I haven't been kicked very much, then I'm going to start getting kicked. Good boy. All right, come here, buddy. So you can see that head tie's already doing that head shaking right there. Good boy. So Oli is usually pretty sensitive down here, and there it is right there. And then being sensitive down here at the hyoid, hey, stop, makes him sensitive up at his pole. And you can see that, like, he just doesn't like being touched up at the pole. And so many people would go, oh my gosh, his pole is out. That's a pole issue, right? It's not a pole issue. It's a hyoid issue. The hyoid sits up under here like this. It looks like the shape of a wishbone, sits like that, but up under here, there's a section that points forward, which is where the muscles attach that move the tongue. There's another section behind, which is where the muscles attach that go down to the shoulder. It's called the omohyoid. And there's another muscle that attaches at the backside of it that goes down to the sternum called the sternohyoid. There's also a part of the hyoid apparatus that angles up towards the pole. So it sits up under here, and then, whoa. So there's a part that sits up under here, and then there's another part that angles up right by the base of the skull like this. And there's a muscle that attaches from here to here. It's called the occipitohyoid. And if these muscles are tight, let's say he's tight over here on the left side, those are going to pull the hyoid towards the left side of the mouth, which pulls the whole hyoid apparatus, not just this. It doesn't just do this, it does this. So now this side gets pushed up into the base of the skull, and then those muscles start to spasm and they get super sore because they get a bunch of lactic acid buildup. So this stuff isn't caused by a pole problem. It's caused by this. It's caused by a hyoid problem. So if you can fix the hyoid, you can fix the pole on a lot of these horses. So it's all about figuring out like which side is the most sensitive side. And that side seems fine, but this side is definitely the most sore side. You can see I'm pulling away from that pressure, and then I like to go up in behind where the halter sits as well. So what I'm going to do, because we've got a sore side on the left, is I'm going to take the tongue out to the right and try to get all of that to relax. Yeah, he's not feeling the best for sure. Oli's in his 20s. I don't know exactly how old he is. So I'm going to go in there. Good boy. I'm going to go in his mouth, two fingers on top of the tongue, and I'm just going to scoop it out to the side, just like that. And then I'm going to transition from 2 fingers to that okay sign. So you can see him pull his head up, and when he does that, I want to follow him up with my hand because I don't want to traction the tongue. I just want to hold it outside of his mouth. And if he pulls up hard enough, his tongue is just going to slide right out of my fingers. And that's what I want, because I don't want to hold onto the tongue super tight, and then he yanks his tongue back, and then I get this massive traction on the tongue itself. That's how you can damage the muscles that are responsible for the tongue or moving the tongue. And you can also damage the hyoid. It's it's very, very rare to damage the hyoid. When people see me pulling the tongue out, like, some people will freak out. Oh my God, you should never do that. Or they'll say, you need to put a warning in your video telling people not to do that. Well, if I tell people not to do it, then they're going to avoid it. And then they're going to be walking around with horses that have pole problems that are never going to get corrected because they're not working on the right area. See, so that's nice and relaxed. So I'm just going to let that go. And then you'll get a bunch of licking and chewing and yawning, head shaking, deep breaths, all the good release signs that people love to see. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. See? And now I'm up at his pole, and he's just letting me push and rub. Right? And all I did was the tongue. I didn't do anything to the pole. See, so if you get this to relax, you'll get this to relax. And that's really all that I did. Super easy. Well, I should say it's simple, but maybe not super easy. But you can do these things for your horses that don't require a whole lot. Like you can get in here, just take the tongue out and hold it. Oh, he's scratching on me. Hey, buddy. Good boy. And you can really do a lot for your horses. See? Now that's all gone. Just from doing that with the tongue. So when people say don't do it or warn people, why? It's so easy. Injuries to the hyoid are extremely rare. If you don't believe me, just go to PubMed or National Institute of Health and search for equine hyoid. The studies will literally say in the abstract, not in the abstract, but in the conclusion, that they're extremely rare. There's not a study published that I can find that says damage to the hyoid is common, or that there's a one common thread for damage to the hyoid. There is one article I saw that said it's because of excess traction, but even then, it says it's rare. So, yeah, exactly. I can't show this enough. You know, if people would just try it on their horses, they would be amazed. Hello, Maggie. Thank you. Awesome. If you guys are watching and haven't hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Ooh, I missed something. Oh my gosh. Glad she's okay. 80 years old. Holy smokes. Saving the world, Cindy. As in a person, are the horses the same that if that gets crushed, they expire? Susan, are you talking about the hyoid? Like if the hyoid gets crushed? Hey, buddy. Just chilling. Yeah, the hyoid issue is chronic for Oli Zena. They had me work on him because he's a chronic head shaker, but they noticed that after he gets adjusted, he'll go 4 to 6 weeks without having that head shaking issue come back. So now I just come work on him every month. Awesome. Good boy. So, I mean, because he's so old, you know, I don't do a whole lot on him. I just do a bunch of motion palpations like I was talking about earlier. I don't do a whole lot of big adjustments on Oli because his back comes up, because he's a senior horse and I don't want to make him sore. I just want to help maintain him so he can do his job, which he loves to do, and just help keep him feeling good. Oh, buddy. He doesn't do the pressure points very well. Oh. So I don't do those on him. But you can see we got that same area of pain that we had on Billy. This is a little bit more off to the side. His isn't nearly as bad as Billy's. Good boy. He doesn't even like any pressure at all on his face. You could see that. As soon as I even go to grab the lead rope, he starts tossing his head. Thank you, Senna. Or are you talking about Oli? Maybe you love Oli. Yeah, I mean, he still shakes too because he's super sensitive to the flies. That's why he has this fly sheet on, and then he'll wear his fly mask when I'm done. But, you know, if you just grab the halter and I try to ask him to come around, he's going to toss his head up. I don't know if that's a learned response from him, but I try to let him do what he wants to do. So I'll just ask him to come over this way. Oh, definitely need to adjust this spot. Good boy. Good boy. So normally I would have the horse flex their head around my pressure by using the halter, but he's super sensitive to that. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, pull still feels way, way, way better. So I'm going to bring him down towards his chest. Oh, there we go. Try to give him a good flexion stretch for all the muscles up at the base of his poll that are responsible for extending his poll. Good boy. There we go. Good boy. Sweet. I'm curious, does anybody on here use Twitch? Anybody on here get on Twitch on a regular basis? Yeah, that was a nice one for sure. Yeah, I use Twitch. Oh, wow. Okay. I just started a Twitch account. I was actually going live on Billy on Twitch, but I don't have any followers there. I just opened the account. So I switched back over to YouTube, but I know I need to start doing more stuff there. If you guys are actually on it, I'll get more active on Twitch. Hello, Jovita. Hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Quarter of the time. Oh, thank you, Rita. Well, he has a chronic problem. I just try to help him deal with it. And he's a head shaker, so I just try to help him be more comfortable and keep that head shaking away as long as possible. I feel like an oldie too, Susan. That's why I think that's why I need to ask. Oh, very cool. All right, good. Thanks. I will look into it. So another thing you got to check with horses that have head shakers is their TMJs. So I'm just going to get him to exercise his real quick. And again, older horses sometimes aren't very sensitive to some of the pressure points. He's doing really good with this one. So I'm just having him open his mouth. You can see how he's moving the tongue. The jaw will go from side to side. He'll go more into extension as we go. He's rotating that head. Their TMJs are right up here, right here, between the temporal bone and the mandible. That's why they're called the temporomandibular joints. And no, TMJ is not a disease or dysfunction. Everybody goes, oh, I have TMJ. Well, everybody has two TMJs. If your TMJs hurt, or they click and pop, or they're not working properly, then you have TMJD, which stands for temporomandibular joint dysfunction or temporomandibular joint disease, depending on what's going on. Sorry, Xana, it's kind of like the chiropractics. It's just a pet peeve, you know, but it's a pet peeve because I'm a nerd. Oh, thank you, Jovita. Look, coming right in with the compliments. I might like her more, Cindy. Cindy, Twitch is a just another streaming platform, but it's kind of an older one. I think it's an older one, right, guys? Oh, wow. Interesting. Oh, so Twitch is mostly for gamers? That makes sense, because I built a YouTube studio at the house. I actually went live a couple days ago just to try it out, and I'm working out some quirks with it. But when I was looking into building the studio, you know, it takes you down a rabbit hole, and most of the guys who are talking about building it were either YouTubers or they do Twitch. I don't know if you call them Twitchers. Kind of sounds weird. But yeah, a lot of the people use Twitch, and I'd never really even heard of it. So I did start a Twitch account. I just haven't posted to it yet. Oh, interesting. Cool. Can you make posts? Can you just make posts on Twitch as well, or do you have to do live streams only? Uh-oh, we just opened the friggin' Pandora's box for Cindy. Cindy, do you use TikTok? Yeah, I think so too. Cindy's got to use TikTok, right? She's on the dark side of TikTok. I'm sure of it. I would bet money on it. Look at me advertising for Twitch. I should be a freaking affiliate. All right, let me pop Oli's fly mask back on. Here, buddy. There we go. It's a good old boy. All right. No, Cindy. You got to be okay with it. We encourage that behavior on this channel. Doesn't have a. All right, I guess he doesn't have a chain to lock his stall with. All right, so I guess I'm done with Oli. Better grab this so I don't leave it here. And I got one horse to go check. Got a sore horse actually right next door. But I don't think I can walk over there. I think I got to drive over there. Did you give me 4,000? Oh man. Man, Cindy, if you weren't married, I'll tell you what. No, don't do anything stupid. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Let's see. Put my Twitch link with my other links? You mean in my TikTok profile? The fiery redheads, Gouda? Me? Oh, I don't know. I can't talk about my preferences on here because, you know, then I'm going to offend people and they're not going to watch because they're going to say, oh, you don't like blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm trying to prop my phone up so I can get a drink of water. There we go. Oh, excuse me. All right. You're my favorite, Cindy. You're my only moderator. Boy. You're my only moderator. Because you're my favorite so much. My favorite so much. Is that correct? Uh-oh. Microphone. There we go. We had a microphone disconnect there. Yeah, that's good advice. Thank you, Xana. I will definitely do that. I'm going to see if I can walk over to this client's horse that's sore over here. If there's people at the barn, I'm going to have to let the live go, but I'll probably let the live go anyway because it's kind of a sad situation. But I'll take you guys over here with me. Why do the Mormons get away with that, but nobody else? Can anybody explain that to me? And I can walk right over to the property. This is perfect. Let's see. Middle child, redhead, etc. All right, let's see. All right, guys. Let me go over here. All right, everybody. I gotta let you go. I'm gonna Just walking over to another barn here. This one has a really sore horse. I want to just check up on him and see how he's doing. But thank you guys again for hanging out. I really hope I can go live tomorrow. I've got a super busy day. I've got 10 horses and 2 people to do, so I'm gonna see if I can go live there. But thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next live. Follow me on Twitch if you can. Love to build my followers up there as well. It's Sport Horse Chiropractic username. So thank you guys so much, and hope you guys have a wonderful day.